Welcome to Today in Prophecy Daily News in 15 minutes or less. It's the news from the perspective of the Bible. Well, listen to this. Several things going on. Vatican is on the brink of bankruptcy. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, looks like his days are numbered. He's almost out. Biden administration tells Israel that they must approve weapons transfer to the Palestinian Authority in the areas of Judea and Samaria. And the Syrian rebel terror leader tells Israel, nothing to worry about here. You guys can go back home. You don't have to protect the no-go zone, the buffer zone. We'll take care of that for you. You can trust us. I mean, wow, you can't make this stuff up. Well, check this out. First story, the Vatican on the brink of bankruptcy due to dramatic decline in global donations under Pope Francis leadership. Wow. Goes on and says the Vatican, which is the global headquarters of the Catholic Church, may be on the brink of bankruptcy, according to the Daily Express. A combination of factors brought about the crisis, but many blame the management of Pope Francis, who became the 266th Pope in 2013. I didn't realize he'd been the Pope since 2013. That's a long time. What is it, 12 years? Coming up on 12 years now? 266 popes. But you look at this, what are they saying? They're saying basically it's because of your insane policies. That's what some people are saying. People have decided they're not going to give to the Catholic Church. Listen, I've been to Rome. I've been to the Vatican twice. There's an awful lot of money there. Maybe the richest nation on earth, the Vatican. But you look at it and say people are giving. Why? Blame whatever you want, but we do know this. The Vatican, out of the Vatican, under this particular Pope, what you have, it's been homosexuality is prevalent at the Vatican. That's been reported. We have pedophilia scandals. We have woke policies, the support of transgenderism, the support of gay marriage, the support of climate lies, and you just start going down all of these different things. The Pope himself is tied in with the World Economic Forum and all of these other global systems, but the Vatican is and has been for a long time, pretty much since its beginning. And you look at this, but some people that are Catholic seem to be waking up according to those things. What the real reasons are for the lack of, for them saying we don't have the money that we used to have, I don't know if we will ever know what the real reason is, but I suspect is because of their woke policies. And people are starting to wake up. People are waking up all over the world. We see what's going on in Canada. We'll get to there in just a second. And they're tired of it. And listen, I look at this and maybe, just maybe, we have Carlo Vignano, who's the Archbishop, who had been sounding the alarm of this particular Pope, saying this guy's like an antichrist. This guy is an evil man. He's tied in with the system of the beast. All kinds of different accusations he would make, that he's a Marxist. So you have these different people that have been in leadership positions within the Catholic Church that have been calling him out. However, at the same time, Carlo Vignano still worships Mary and prays to the saints and those things. So spiritually off the mark. But you see these other areas where people are waking up, and we're seeing them wake up. You see a Bill Maher, still left, still liberal, still radically left, I would say, but he's waking up, and it's the woke policies and the anti-Israel policies, like this Pope, the anti-Israel Pope. And he's not the first Pope that's been anti-Israel. I think all of the popes, the Vatican has been anti-Israel. So we see these different dynamics, but there are people in leadership positions that seem to be waking up and going, hey, something, I smell a rat here. And then I also want to say this about the Pope too, before we move on. Know this, in the book of Revelation, again, it's the news from a perspective of the Bible, so we can rightly put things into place. In Revelation chapter 13, when you have the rise of the second beast, the first beast being the one that's commonly referred to as Antichrist, the second beast is the one that the Bible is very clear is the false prophet. He has two horns, looks like a lamb, but he speaks like the devil himself. In other words, the two horns looking like a lamb is an inference to looking like Christian, looking like he is a Christ-like figure. And the two horns looking like a lamb, but speaks like the devil. This Pope speaks like the devil. and we don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know who the false prophet is or who Antichrist is, but I think when we get a picture of the false prophet in the Bible, this Pope certainly looks to have the appearance that we can get an understanding of what type of character the false prophet, when he comes on the official scene, will be, whoever that is. Okay, moving on from there, Zero Hedge reports, you're done. Trudeau mercilessly heckled as government implodes. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was mercilessly heckled after a Liberal Party fundraiser at the Canadian Museum of History as his administration teeters on the verge of collapse. So right now, all kinds of people that were on the left, that have been on the left, siding with Trudeau through all of his insane things up there in Canada, they've been fleeing from his cabinet. They've been fleeing from his administration. He is losing the support that he had. And as I've talked with several different people from Canada and even with Pete Garcia today, that it appears his days are numbered. He's probably only a few days away from being gone. And listen, I know we have a lot of viewers up there in Canada. God bless you guys. I get more emails from Canada than I do anywhere in the world. Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And it's just great to see. And but I know we have a lot of people up there that view Hope for Our Times. And listen, we are, God bless you guys, man. You've had to deal with him. Here in California, we deal with Newsom. I think those guys are like twins. If we could only get rid of Newsom here, but to have the leader of your country changed, boy, that would be great. And I know you guys would be greatly encouraged by it, but this is just more evidence that people are waking up. The insane woke policies that came from Trudeau, that have been coming from Trudeau, like they have been here in the United States, coming from these people, the radical left. And then even as Pete Garcia pointed out in the conversation we had this afternoon, by the way, it was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it. But with that one this afternoon, as he pointed out, you had his truckers that he went after back during the earlier days of COVID. Remember that? Shut them all down, freezes up their bank accounts, that kind of thing. He says that's when the Trudeau regime started its downfall. But nevertheless, it looks like he's gone. God bless you guys up there in Canada. Next, Israel 365 News. Biden administration tells Israel to approve weapons transfer to the Palestinians in Samaria. Citing U.S., Israeli, and Palestinian sources, Axios reported that the weapons would purportedly be used on a wide-ranging operation being carried out by the Palestinian Authority in Jenin, Samaria, where the PA has been fighting armed terrorists from Iranian-funded Hamas and the Jenin Brigade affiliated with the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. All right, so you look at this and what the U.S. is saying, look, you've got to get these weapons to the PA, the Palestinian Authority there in Judea and Samaria, and the reason is because they got to deal with the terrorist groups. They're like Hamas that are on the inside. So Israel's this is a very difficult place for Israel. Israel doesn't need a rise of Hamas coming in Bethlehem and Shechem and these different areas in Judea and Samaria, but they're already in there. And then you have the Jenin Brigade also, these two radical terror groups. So the U.S. saying, give the weapons over to the PA. Well, okay, so let's say Israel gives the weapons over to the PA. What happens if they deal with Hamas? Well, guess what? I've been into those areas of Judea and Samaria. And if you're a Jew, it is not a safe place for you to be. Go to Bethlehem, for those of you who have known. It's not a safe place for Jews to go to Bethlehem. I've been there with some Jewish people before. They're very much on the alert. So you look at that and you go, okay, and that was with the Palestinian Authority. That was not with the threat of Hamas or the Jenin Brigade. So you look at that and go, okay, so let's say they eliminate the problem of Hamas and these terrorists in Judea and Samaria. Well, the Palestinian Authority has now been armed by Israel. What are they going to do with those weapons? They're going to use them against Israel. They already hate Israel. I've been there, I know. I've heard. I was sitting at a cafe in Bethlehem, had a really good time, and it was near the Church of the Nativity. The food was fantastic. The fellowship was good, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I spoke in Hebrew to the person who's serving us, and he smiled and he was happy. And it was supposed to be a Christian-run restaurant. Christian-run places over there are a little bit different than here, just so you know. And one of the people with me, a guide who was Muslim that was with me at that point, he leaned over to me and he said, "Do not do that. Do not use Hebrew here." And he was very serious. "You're going to get in trouble for using Hebrew here. Don't say it again." So I got the point. I said, "Yikes." And it was something that just slipped out while I was there. You know, I should have known better, knowing the situation, knowing where I was. But you get the idea, right? So if the PA gets rid of Hamas and the terrorist groups and Israel arms the PA, what do you think those arms are going to be used on in the future? Interesting. Moving on, Syrian rebel leader al-Jilani vows Syria will honor 1974 ceasefire agreement, says Israel doesn't need buffer zone. By the way, just a reminder, as we look at this, you can get all of these news articles and more at hopeforourtimes.com or also on the app. We post them there every day. So check it out. They're all free. Check it out. All right. So with the Syrian rebel leader saying, "Hey, Israel, you don't need to be here in the buffer zone." So if you've been following what's been going on there, Israel has now gone into the DMZ, demilitarization zone of the UN. If you've ever been to Israel and gone up to the Golan Heights, I've been up there many times, up to Mount Bental, and you have Kofi Annan, the coffee shop that's up there, take on a spin on the former leader of the UN. But you have the coffee shop up there. It's really cool. It's a great lookout. You look down, you see Syria, you see the DMZ. That's the buffer zone. So here's Israel, the mountaintop, the hilltop, the DMZ, Syria, and Israel is now in the DMZ. And it's also just in the south of Syria, just at the north part of the DMZ, where you have this section of the Druze, D-R-U-Z-E, where the Druze are there saying, "We want to be part of Israeli territory." So the Syrian rebel leader, al-Jilani, comes along and he says, "No, this isn't something that you need to do. You can trust us. We're good. We're going to take care of you. You don't need to worry about anything. Israel, nothing for you guys to do here. In fact, you guys can just go back home." Well, check this out. This is great. Thank you, Donna from Canada, for just sending this reminder. But here it is. This is regarding the facts of the Syrian rebel group. On Wednesday, gunmen, this is in Syria, attacked a Greek Orthodox diocese in the Syrian city of Hama, according to the Sky News Arabia reporter. A source in the Greek Orthodox Syrian Archdiocese of Hama told local media that an armed group launched a shooting attack on the Greek Orthodox diocese is what I think it's supposed to say, of Hama in the city. The militants destroyed the symbols of the Christian religion, violated the sanctity of the dead, and vandalized cemeteries of Christian families. Okay, that's just one thing. So they're saying, just think of what's come from these radical rebel groups. What they have been saying is, "Hey, we're here for you, we care for you, Syria is for everybody," but out of their same lips they say, "We are coming after Jerusalem and we're going to get the Jews." And now you have this group that says, "You guys, you Israelis, don't worry about the buffer zone, we'll take care of it, we'll take care of you, all is going to be good." Would you trust them? I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them at all. Wow. And by the way, also, this just came to me. Thank you again, Donna from Canada. California Governor Newsom declares state of emergency over the bird flu. Here we go again. Pray for us in California. Listen, we're all out of time for today. God bless you guys. Go back, check out the video with Pete Garcia today. Also, I will be live tomorrow doing You Can't Make This Up, 2 o'clock Pacific time, taking your comments and questions. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow.